Okay, this was such a weird episode. It was such a wacky episode. Um, what am I going? Okay, so it started off with some stuff I didn't really care about. Oh, Tamar and Ashley. I guess I gotta go watch the. You gotta go watch the video to watch to see what they were talking about, and then we went into what I remember was Tony. Oh, getting ready to go to the bachelorette party, and well, first of all, we know Tony. I mean, the bachelorette destination was just in Mexico. Tony kept saying the Bahamas or something. Well, we already know Tony doesn't travel with those her sisters, and especially she doesn't travel with her sisters. Or she doesn't really travel at all unless it's for work. Because she'll post about that online, like that whole Miami thing, and then I think she had like a Bahamas performance this summer. She posted about that. She doesn't travel with those sisters at all, which you kind of give like. And later in the episode, um, Tawanda was like, "I just wish my sisters came together for me and celebrated me, yada yada yada." And I'm just like, this has been your dynamic since the beginning. So I don't understand. I don't understand why she thinks things are just gonna be different and change. So then Tamar has this. I don't know. Well, Tawana gets hit by a car. That was crazy. She was like, her tooth came out. First of all, it's so crazy. I don't know if Tony has veneers, but it seems like the whole family has veneers, and it's fascinating. Like they didn't seem like they had messed up teeth. Ugh, Jesus. They didn't seem like they had messed up teeth in the beginning. So I'm just like, I don't understand why the whole family has veneers. And then it's when you get veneers, your mouth, like the way you talk, changes completely different until you get used to wearing the veneers. And I'm just like, that's so. It takes a while, and then sometimes they don't, and you have like a lisp, and you start not being able to pronounce words completely or clearly. I don't know. It's weird. So then, yeah, that person who hit Tawanda, wow, blood. I mean, and I can't believe that she was actually filming. Let me take these shoes off. I can't believe she was actually filming while this happened, because like her tooth was like messed up, the blood was still on her nose. I was just like, oh we. Like her not messed up. The tooth was chipped, and I think like partial of one tooth was like gone, or not partial. A whole tooth looked like it was gone because that camera angle was like all up in her grill. I was just like, oh my gosh. But she trucked on to Mexico, which was like, oh, okay. So then that happened. We ridiculously find out about Miss E writing a book called Bitter or For Worse. I'm over it. Please, I'm just like, I'm sick of hearing about it. Like I told you like last week, I'm sick of hearing about Miss Evelyn and her. I thought because when she sat down and she was on the phone with Tony. By the way, Tony always has like her beef with it is always um, Rodeo Drive, and it's like whatever. Like be serious, you guys. Um, But when Tony sat down, I mean, when Miss E sat down, and she's like, Mom, you look good. Where you going? And she's like, Oh, I'm sitting down. I'm about to have lunch with. I was like, please do not say a man, Because I'm sick of it. Like I told you, I'm sick of hearing about Miss Evelyn and her relationship, her fake relationship, her bitter ass. Like I really, I'm trying. I don't want to cuss that lady out because that's not nice. But I'm just like I'm sick of hearing about Miss Evelyn and her bitter ass. And then she made some kind of like the pole stays longer than the hoe or something like that. And it's like, if you're referring to your ex husband who's been married to this woman since you got divorced, you are so. You are absolutely bitter and you. I can't stand their mother. I'm just like, why isn't she writing a cookbook? Like, can we talk about food or something? I'm just like, I'm so sick of hearing about Miss Evelyn. Anyway, so let's move on. Let's move on. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on. What else happened? Okay, so Tamar's at this photo shoot. The whole like the way they keep giving us like fast forward, present day, past. The timing and the editing is not my favorite. But Tamar is having this photo shoot, and she. Oh wait, the guy walks in. This guy, and he's like the producer, like a music producer or something like that. And they're talking, and she's like, "I need you, please, to come to Tulum with me to be my support animal, basically, my support system or something like that." And he's like, "I don't want to go." And I'm like, "Why is she asking this? Not an assistant, not like a friend, but this music producer. Why is she asking?" It was such a weird thing. And then he looked so off put, like he didn't want to do it. I didn't get it. You guys, these comments are ridiculous. Anyways, so he's like, "No, I don't want to do it." And so she's like, "Okay, please." And he's like, "No." Then, then she's at this photo shoot for the promo photo shoot for the tour that she's doing with these guys, and she gets on set and she's like, "Why are we at a bar? I don't want to be at a bar. I don't like this." She's like, I'm not fussing just to fuss." And I'm like, "Yeah, you are fussing just to fuss," because she's like, "I don't like this creative." And it's just like, why are you right now, telling us you don't like this creative that of a photo shoot for your promo tour that you're about to go on tour for? It just didn't make any sense. And it's just like, okay, I don't know. We later find out, oh, she's like, he's like, the photographer's like, "I want to make sure let's get a martini glass and you can take a picture with the martini glass." She's like, "I don't want a martini glass." And so she's like, "I need to have a meeting now." So they go in the back to her dressing room and she's talking to her assistant. She's like, "When did you find out that the Timu preach? When did you find out that the creative was this?" And he's like, "Oh, the other day." He's clearly not that qualified. Like, let me be, put me in a ring. I need to be the assistant. I need to be the interviewer out here. You guys are not asking the right questions. You guys aren't keeping, your client happy. Hire me. I can do this. Anyways, but he was just like the other day, and she's like, "Well, why haven't I gotten it?" And he was like, "I don't know." It's like that's not really a good answer. Like this should have been something she had saying, known about. He didn't know. He ends up blaming it on the communication, his communication falling off, and he looked embarrassed. He looked like you know, she was gonna have him have a hit put out on him, which I was like, is his safety okay, or is he just scared of like her mouth? Cause yeah. Um, what happened after that? So then they go back, and then she's like, instead of a martini glass, my fans don't come to my show. They're not drinking a martini. They're drinking a Long Island iced tea. I'm like, I don't know what that means. And then she's like, what if we just have a beer? A beer. So she's holding a beer. The other, the other guys around her, one guy was holding like, let's say a bourbon or something. And I just didn't understand. She's like, why are we at a bar? I feel like they still didn't give the context of why they're at a bar for a tour photo shoot. And why are you holding a beer? She ended up holding a beer. I just didn't get it. I feel like those kind of photo shoots need to be simple, clean cut. Um, and it wasn't like a night out with Tamar and whatever, which kind of would make sense. It was just called, I don't remember what it's called, but it's just, I feel like if it's not like California Dreams tour, have like cotton candy and stuff, or the Renaissance tour, it had like a horse, like it made sense. Even Cowboy Carter, the tour didn't even have like this like cowboy country aesthetic in the picture. It just didn't make sense. And she went along with it, and it's like, why are you holding a beer that you're not being endorsed to hold in a photo shoot for a picture for your tour? It just didn't make sense. It was silly. Anyway, so then the ladies get to, it was like a whole lot of people. It was like a whole lot of women going to that bachelorette party in Tulum. And I'm like, damn, there's a lot of people. So they get to Tulum, and Tawanda is being or feeling solemn. She's feeling sad. I was going to say a word, I forgot how to pronounce it, but she's feeling sad, melancholy. She's feeling really melancholy about um, uh, Tracy not being there, and it's just like, God damn, that's really sad. But she's just like, Tracy was here, we would have so much more fun, and it's just sad that, Tracy's not here. I'm like, yeah, it is sad, Tracy's not there. But then this whole like riff happens, and we're seeing Tamar. Oh wait, Tamar in the beginning, she told us that she doesn't talk to Tawanda unless they're filming, which seemed to be true. And then Tawanda sent Tamar a invitation to be the some maid of honor, something like that. And Tamar sent this, veneer looking video. At that time, she was like, "Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be your maid of honor. I can't wait." And then she was like, Tawanda didn't respond back. And then she got an invitation to the wedding, I believe, or an invitation to the bachelorette party. I don't know, something like that. And then fast forward to Tamar talking to the producer or having her interview, and she's like, "You know what? Oh, they asked her why didn't you want to go?" And she was like, "That's not what happened. You told me you had a conversation with Tawanda that if I heard about that conversation, I was not gonna like the outcome." Then we skip to Tawanda. See, they actually did set this up they set this up to show, and it's funny that Tamar, what really stood out to me, and I think they replayed that part this in the beginning. Tamar was not allowed to be on the show last season, and as Tawanda being an EP, it's interesting that this all is being shown or whatever. So Tamar, no, Tawanda is like, none of my sisters are there for me. None of my sisters are gonna be here. They're not taking the realm. They're not trying to help me. And then she says, "Well, Tamar said that she wasn't gonna show up." And no. She said Tamar. She said Tamar said through Miss Evelyn and the other family members that she was not going to show up, and that the wedding was too close to her birthday. In previous history, see, that's why some of the stuff I don't know what to believe, because that does sound like Tamar. Like, you remember when Tracy had her birthday, or something was going on, because Tracy and Tamar's birthday are very near, very close to each other. And Tracy was having something, and Tamar was there, and she kind of made like a big deal about being there, or they didn't make a big deal about her birthday, because I think it's Tamar's birthday and then Tracy's birthday. And they didn't make a big deal about Tracy's birthday. So I'm like, that whole birthday thing sounds very accurate. Is it wrong? Probably. But it sounds accurate. So then, yeah, so I just don't know what to believe with that. Is it Tamar or is it Tawanda? And the comments on, the Twitter and stuff, they're like, it's Tawanda. She's in the background, which I can kind of see. Oh, and then okay, yeah, I think it might be. It's definitely Tawanda, because Tawanda. Then they cut to this random B footage of Tawanda, like she didn't know she was being filmed, like she didn't know this camera was capturing this moment, but it was like a B footage, so it wasn't necessarily like in her face, but she was like, yeah, Tamar said she was, I'm glad Tamar didn't come because she was going to fuck up the whole situation. And I'm just like, what? Why would she say that? And then Tamar was like, you didn't even want me to be, I think this is what Tamar was doing a little bit too much, because she was like, you probably didn't even want me to be your maid of honor in the first place, because I think she took that title away from her. And then she's like, you probably didn't even want me to be there in the first place. So I don't understand. Well, I do understand. So it does make sense that Tawanda is being a little messy. And you're seeing it play out, because why would you say that about your sister and then you like are mad that she's not there? These ladies, I swear, it sounds just like, where are we gonna go from here? And they keep showing a flashback to that dinner that was only 3 weeks ago. They keep showing a flashback to like Tamar saying, you're trying to stop my business, and you sent the cease and desist, and y'all some dirty niggas. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, what, like, why do they keep doing this? Like, you guys aren't doing anything different. Like I said this last week, they aren't doing anything differently. Why do they keep showing the same mess? I guess you're just trying to show who's really at the helm of this. And I feel like they both definitely play a part, because but it does start with Tawanda not paying attention to Tamar. She doesn't like Tamar, so she kind of just cuts her off, cut her out. And it's just like, yeah, y'all are older, but you would think since, you lost a sister, you would try. You know what? I'm not even gonna go there because the way Tamar acted this like the last couple of months, you kind of like definitely understand why you don't want to be around her all the time because of that stunt she did this summer, this late summer. Like that was so crazy. But then you have Tawanda. If Tawanda wasn't acting like she wanted her there, that would be a big difference. That would be a big difference. And then so they're playing this game, and they're like, it's like 1,000 of them there at the in Tulum, and so they're playing the game, and one of the questions was, how did they? What was their first? What was Sean and Tawanda's first date? And they're like, Trina, where's Trina? And then production's like, where's Trina? Oh, she's in the bathroom. Get the cameras over there. Okay. It didn't make sense because she's mic'd, and so Trina's in the bathroom, in the bedroom. She's on the phone with. I was about to say Gabe. She's on the phone with Vaughn, and Vaughn is like, "Yeah, they said I got congestive heart failure." Like I said, where do we go from here? This is crazy. Nobody's talking about the congestive heart failure online. I'm trying to look up like, is this true? Like, this is so random, and I'm just like, what happened? And Trina hasn't posted anything in days. The only stuff she's posted on Instagram was some kind of like festival happening in a couple at the end of the month, and then some kind of like donation thing happening. She hasn't posted anything about this episode, and I'm just like. By the way, Trina seemed like she was doing like I don't know what kind of uppers Trina was on, but she just seemed like she was like doing a whole lot to maybe hide what is going on. I don't know. So I'm just like, where are we going from here? These ladies have these ladies have it going on, and it's crazy. But I do like that we're kind of in. I think next episode or something we're gonna see Tony preparing for the show. It's funny. Tony's always working around the time that she needs to be present. Let me stop on Tony. Let me stop on Tony. But I do appreciate that we're seeing we're seeing these ladies work. Or we're seeing Tamar work. We see like the um, backstory and like Tawanda, and now I don't know. That was crazy. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. This is the Dead Show podcast. I gotta go. Bye.